When life gets real, the mic stays warm. Hosted by the dad with lots of charm. Insights are sharp and data's tight. Lance already and the joke's online. Hot takes, real talk, keeping it true. From high school halls to podcast cues, live a little, learn a lot. Turn it up, your show is hot. Grab your coffee and let's get into it. No filter, no fluff, just real talk. Let's do it. Ready or not, here we go. It's time for Muffman to start the show.
All right. We are back. How we all doing today? How's everybody doing?
Well, I'm doing good. Just a little tired. Ooh, that's...
One of those things that we're doing here, you guys, is we told you guys we're doing a new studio, so I hope you guys like it.
And if you don't like it, then...
Too bad, so sad, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we're still learning how to do some of these controls that we got. So real quick, let me just tell Connor, are you on Streamlabs?
Well, yeah, this is Streamlabs.
Okay. Click on StreamYard.
Uh-huh.
Then click on the blue button down at the bottom.
This one?
No.
That's the blue button.
Oh, no. The camera, split cam.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Well, specify. There's a lot of blue buttons.
Yeah, like there's Word too.
Yeah, exactly. So
anyway, all right. How we doing, guys? Jesus Christ, man. All right. So gotta tell you guys, today's episode is about mental health in college. And I gotta tell you, I'm really excited about this episode because this is something that I've done my entire career. I've been doing mental health and counseling, psychology, anything related since I was 19 years old. 36 years, Connor. Actually 37. Holy cow.
Damn.
37 years.
You old.
I am old. I am very, very old. But I'll tell you what, with that comes a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things that when we're doing this, I've always talked about it's work from the heart. It's something that we do because we like doing this. I've wanted to share the information with people so many times. And that's what made me start this whole podcast. So I'm hoping that today's episode helps someone get help if they need to. But I think right now it is a good time that we ignite the fuse. Connor, what do you think?
Sounds great.
I don't hear it.
I don't either.
All right. So technical difficulty. Close split labs. Close split labs. Close split labs.
How do I close split labs?
Okay. And then let's hit the intro over here. Go down. All right. Sorry about that. Give me the control.
Okay. Here you go.
Sorry about that, you guys. So, like I said, we're doing this show today, and we're going to start a little differently because we had to do some changes here, and apparently they didn't work. So, let's ignite the fuse on today's show.
The pressure is rising, the stakes are high, and the campus noise is at an all-time maximum. It's time to cut through the static and get real about the mental grind. Welcome to Hot Takes. Today we are talking about mental health in college, self-care, burnout, and the myth of having it all together. College is a time of immense pressure, and this episode helps students navigate anxiety and build self-care habits. The fuse is lit. Murph Man, take the mic.
All right, you guys.
Oh, go back to split cam. Yeah.
Hold on.
What are you doing?
Hold on, things are dizzy, spinning rapidly. To miss another beat is such a tragedy. Now this moment feels like all eternity. It should feel so comfortable. There's no need to scream and shout when everything seems crazy. Reflection now. A peace of mind should not include deception's help. It should feel so comfortable. It's all in the secrets of the open hearts club. Honestly.
All right, there we are. All right. So let me tell you, we had a little situation here that we just had to get this fixed up. The plan for what we wanted to do, I guess we're going to have to wait till the new year. And we had this all set up. There was just something that came up right now that totally threw us off, you guys. So we do apologize for that. But let's go ahead and let's ignite the fuse on today's episode again. And so we can go over it and go from there.
Yes.
The pressure is rising, the stakes are high, and the campus noise is at an all-time maximum. It's time to cut through the static and get real about the mental grind. Welcome to Hot Takes. Today we are talking about mental health in college, self-care, burnout, and the myth of having it all together. College is a time of immense pressure, and this episode helps students navigate anxiety and build self-care habits. The fuse is lit. Murph Man, take the mic.
All right, welcome to today's episode 21, Mental Health in College. I got to tell you guys, this is one of my favorite episodes to talk about because I actually get to discuss mental health that I've been doing now for 37 years. Counseling and all that good stuff forever. So it's one of those things that I have been really excited to talk about, and I hope that everybody enjoys today's episode. You know, one of the things that we have here, like I said, we have this new studio that we're working on, and I hope you guys like it. You know, we're gonna have a few more bells and whistles coming in a little bit as we go. So I hope everything goes well. Okay.
Me too.
And I think it's time to get to the burning question.
Yes.
Before we move any further, it's time for a quick system diagnostic. Let's see if you can identify the invisible force that's been draining your battery. Today's question is related to our main topic of managing anxiety and emotional well-being. Here it is. What is the term for the tendency to catch and mirror the emotions of people around you, especially anxiety or stress? Is it A, emotional intelligence, or B, preventative self-care? Maybe it's C, emotional contagion. So let's see what the flashpoint is, Murph man.
What do you think it is, Connor?
I think it's the emotional contagion.
Emotional contagion. Well, you would be right if that's what you think it is, because I'll tell you what, right now, it's one of those things that you don't realize how much people around you affect you. You don't realize the things that you pick up from those people around you, and you need to be able to look at all that and understand that you are affected by what other people around you have. So you want to be real careful with that, okay? And as we do this, you know, we talk about the different ways friends and everyone affects us. So let's talk about that right now in our hot take of the day. Woohoo!
Walk across any quad and you'll see a sea of masks, people pretending the pressure isn't getting to them. It's time to stop buying into the performance. Today's hot take is, the biggest lie on campus is the myth that everyone else has it all figured out. The biggest lie on campus is the myth that everyone else has it all figured out. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and neglecting your well-being is the fastest path to academic failure. Murphman, it's your turn to fan the flames.
That's right, guys. Today's hot take is really interesting because you don't realize this. Let's read it again. The biggest lie on campus is the myth that everyone else has it figured out. How many times do you walk around campus and have no clue what's happening? And before you know it, you're just like, what?
A lot.
A lot? Right?
Yeah, I see like hella, like I see tents, I see stuff going on in the Centennial Plaza. I have no idea what it's for. I have no idea.
And you see people around you that are like, wow, this is cool. I got this all. I know what's going on campus and everything. And we don't always do that, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's one of those things that right here. It's one of those things that you think everyone has it all figured out, and they really don't. Okay. Now, why do I say that? Understand that people have what's the word I'm going to look for here? They want everyone to think everything's okay. And that's not always the case, is it? You know, and when everyone says they got it together, they don't, you guys. When I was in basic training, I'll tell you right now, that's one of the most difficult things we have people doing, because it's the first time they're away from home and they have to deal with all this pressure about everything going on, and it just doesn't work the way we would like it to. And there's some people that really cannot handle that. It's a really, really big deal. And that transition for them is a lot more difficult. But for those of us who sort of had an idea of what was going on, it wasn't as bad, you know, because you see someone else freaking out and you're like, at least I'm not that bad. I don't got my stuff together, but you know what? I'm not that bad. So it's interesting because think about that, okay? It's one of those things where you don't realize the impact you have on everybody around you and the way they have their impact on you. So as we talk about this, let's keep that in mind. Okay. If you're struggling and you want to know something right now, this is why you're struggling. It's not your fault. And it's the culture of constant comparison and business that is setting you up for burnout. Okay. The struggle is not your fault, because everyone says you got to have it under control, and you don't.
You never do.
You never do. Even as adults, you guys, one of the things I'd like to say often is I ask adults, what do you want to do when you grow up? Right? And a lot of times adults don't even know what they want. So what are kids supposed to do? I say kids, I'm 56 years old. 20-year-olds are kids to me. My own son is 19, So it's one of those things that you ask yourself, like, are we really doing this? Is it really that difficult? So on and so forth. So a lot's going on. And I do want to point out that because of that, I want to point out the suicide awareness hotline, 988. You can call it, hit 1, and you can get help. And to drive the point home, I have a video for our break here. It's a video near and dear to my heart by Ryan Spencer. So check out the video.
All right. Where is it at?
Third one, right there.
Oh. It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
The web at MB Radio.
According to the VA's suicide data report, an average of 22 veterans die by suicide every single day. This figure is a sobering reality and a crisis that demands our immediate attention and compassion. We must recognize and address the fact that every 24 hours, 22 veterans are losing their lives to suicide. The war doesn't always end when our veterans come home. The invisible wounds they carry, wounds that are real and heavy, require continuous support. No veteran should have to carry this burden alone. Many veterans experience stress and disconnection as they navigate life after service. But there is hope, there is help, and you are not alone in this fight. There's a vibrant community ready to support you, offering friendship, understanding, and shared experiences. You served your country, now let us serve you. Don't fight the toughest battle in silence. Your mission now is to reach out. Dial 988, then press 1. Text them at 838255. The Veterans Crisis Line is available 24/7. Every day, we save lives. Your life is invaluable, and your service is honored. Let's work together to make 22-0 again. No veteran should face their struggles alone. Together, we can ensure every veteran finds the support and hope they deserve.
He gets help, but he still feels off. Sees an ad on the TV about a dog batting said, "This is a man's best friend." Whoa, so he goes one day and he picks it up. Never thought a dog could bring so much love and put a smile on his face. But he's finally found a saving grace. He needs help, but he don't know the path to take or the way to go to be free. Put his mind at ease. We will help, 'cause we can't stand to see a soldier go to God by their own hands. We will do everything we can to make 22-0 again.
All right, we are back, you guys. So yeah, the thing is, down 988, hit 1. There's always someone there to talk to you. You're not alone. This goes for college students or anyone else as well, you guys. So it's not just for veterans or anyone. These are for anyone who needs the help. But I will tell you this. One of the things we have to do is we have to define the terms that we're going to be talking about. And right now, we're going to lay down the coals.
A fire is only as strong as its base. If you don't understand the mechanics of the burn, you're just going to get scorched. Before we dig in, let's clarify some of the key terms we'll be using today while laying down the coals. Emotional contagion, the tendency to mirror the emotional states of those around you. Preventative self-care, scheduling activities like rest, exercise, or hobbies that replenish your energy to stop burnout before it starts. The mind-body connection, recognizing that physical health, sleep, hydration, movement directly impacts your mental resilience and academic performance. Now that the coals are laid, Murphman, let's discuss the foundation.
All right, so today's terms, you guys, is emotional contagion, the tendency to mirror the emotional states of those around you. What does that mean? Well, if someone is panicking, people tend to panic. If someone is scared,
others are going to be scared.
Others are going to be scared, right? So a lot of times you got to be that calm in the storm. You know, that's one thing that I've always been told is it's like a tornado can be going on around me, and I'm the calm, the eye of the storm. Because sometimes you got to keep your head on you, you know. And that's one of those hardest things to do because you're overwhelmed, you're stressed, life's hitting you, midterms are coming up, you know, all that stuff going on. And guess what? You are stressed. And if you don't handle it well, you're going to get burned out. So that brings us to the next step, which is preventive self-care, you guys. Scheduling activities like rest, exercise, and hobbies that replenish your energy or stop burnout before it starts. You know, one of the things that have helped people become less anxious over time is on Friday afternoons after school, after work, Friday evenings, scheduling that family time. We've talked about this. We always try to do something on Friday night, right? The weekend's here, whatever, right? Yesterday, Connor here was working out all his stress by hitting nails and doing so many different things yesterday, right, Connor?
Mm-hmm.
You guys, he's amazing. He helped me get the studio up and running. It's one of those things when you look at what we do when we're off that matters. Scheduling stuff is very important. Why? Over the holidays, we had appointments, right? We had football games to watch. We had events with friends. There was just so much going on that you really couldn't do anything unless it was planning, right?
Yeah.
So by scheduling that stuff, it relieves some of the stress. I've always talked about planning ahead and everything is important. But having a schedule that you're going to follow is something that you don't have to just plan your events. You can also plan that relaxation time. Last week, we were talking about relationships, and we talked about having time with your partner. Now, I know with your mom, we used to leave you with your aunt on Saturdays. We'd go do our thing with the club and leave you there overnight. And that was our time, right? Mm-hmm. Also, that was your time with your tia and cousin, okay? So we were able to do those kinds of things and plan family time. And then, of course, Sundays, we were together and everything again. You know, we were together Monday through Friday too, but I'm saying, because with my job, you can never tell what was going to happen last minute. And it was really difficult to do things. Like, that's why you never got in sports or anything, because I was always busy doing that stuff. So it's one of those things that when you sit here and you look at scheduling and planning, it's very, very important. It is very important. The other thing is the mind and body connection, recognizing that physical health, such as sleep, hydration, movement, directly impact your mental resilience and academic performance. You got to sleep, right? You got to rest. You got to have hygiene, which is not just physical hygiene. It's like the mental hygiene, that sleep habits we talked about. Remember the beds just for sleeping? Oh. Otherwise, you're not going to get any rest. Yesterday, I was having a bad day. In the morning, I woke up with a major, major headache. Thought I had COVID. I laid down and I just vegged on my phone, right? Scrolled TikTok or whatever. And before you know it, I was asleep. And I woke up. I fell asleep, woke up. I had to get out of there, so I just came to the room and I started working. Worked on the videos for today and everything. So it's one of those things that
Oh, the little laser.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I can tell you where to go. I just realized I had that. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, so you get a new technology, you guys. We got a little. I can actually
We got lasers.
laser.
We got
I can tell them when to
lights.
click. But yeah, so recognizing that physical health impacts your mental resilience and academic performance, and that also includes eating correctly, eating right. If you're not eating healthy, you're not going to be doing too well, are you? So you have to be real careful about that and understand that when you're doing things, you want to eat right. And when you go partying, you don't want to drink too much. Christmas Eve, I went out with some friends. We went over there and we had a couple beers, right? 2 or 3 beers. And I could have drank more, but I had things going on. I didn't want to do it on Friday. I mean, on Christmas, right?
Yeah.
You want to tell everybody what our Christmas tradition is? We talked about it last week.
Our Christmas tradition is going to the movies, watching whatever movie we can, and then going to eat Chinese food.
Yes.
Or vice versa, because I mean,
yeah, it depends on what time we want to eat and everything.
Yeah.
And Chinese food was good. Movie, not so much. On a scale of 1 to 10, we watched the Anaconda boot. I don't know if it's a reboot or remake or satire or whatever, but it's funny. It was not a bad movie, but I don't know if I'd want to watch it again.
It was one of those, like, you've seen it and that's it.
Right.
It's not really like I want to see it again. I mean, see it for like with family for jokes, but
nah. But the Chinese food, I would do that every day if I could.
I would do it if I could.
What's funny is Connor's still a picky eater with some things.
Just seafood.
And well, yeah. But I'm saying, like, he won't eat seafood. So I took him to all you can eat sushi place. And what ends up happening is he doesn't eat sushi, so he doesn't eat fish or anything. And it's funny because, like, the whole restaurant is a sushi restaurant.
Yeah.
And all he does is order chicken fried rice or chicken hibachi or whatever. So, to each their own, right?
If they have it, they have it. I mean,
right?
I don't want sushi, but they have fried rice, so I'd take that.
Anything with chicken and steak, basically.
Yeah.
But, I want to get into the story from the fire because that is something that we'll sort of highlight where we're going with this. So let's get to the story from the fire.
The map is useless if you don't know how to walk the path. To see what these tactics look like in the real world, let's look at a case study in tactical restraint. Mark was struggling with social anxiety. Mark was struggling with social anxiety and constantly felt overwhelmed by his peers' stress. He learned about emotional contagion and started setting boundaries. He muted group chats and scheduled non-negotiable walk time. By actively protecting his environment and energy, he lowered his overall anxiety. That was a story from the fire. Murphman, are you feeling the heat?
I am feeling the heat. The thing about Mark, all right, is he's struggling with social anxiety. Everyone has social anxiety, but there's some people that actually have a more difficult time with that. It's sad because we have people that don't do things because of their anxiety, right? When you're stressed out and you have everything going on, it affects your behavior, you guys. Remember, stress is a physical, emotional, and behavioral reaction. And you have the same reaction whether it's good or bad. We've talked about this in the past. So when you think about the good and the bad and everything goes on and social anxiety on top of it and having to deal with all the stress from work, it's one of those things that, or work or school or whatever the case may be, it really does affect you, right? You know,
It really does.
and when you sit here and you think about Mark and the fact that he muted group chats, how many group chats are you in, Connor? 25, 30?
I was gonna say, yeah. All honesty though, I'm in like 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6. Yeah, 6.
Okay.
I'm not saying it. Yeah, but
And sometimes your friends are blowing up your phone.
yes,
And what do you do?
I mute them. I
You mute 'em.
have 2 or 3 of the group chats muted. Well, I have 3 muted because the others are actually talking.
Okay, but I'm saying
But-
sometimes when they're blowing up your phone, you mute them.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah.
you need to. If you're doing something with one group of friends and all your other friends are blowing it up, it's not cool. And Connor can tell you, we've been out and he gets a message from a friend and goes, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" I don't know. Then right after that, he gets a message from another friend that says, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" And he has to decide which friend he's going to go hang around with, right?
Yeah.
Does that stress you out at all?
Yes.
It does. Why?
Because I don't know who to choose, and I don't know. People just they're like, "Oh, you don't want to hang out with me. You hate me." Meh, 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 meh.
And
it annoys me.
It annoys you. And
That's
what do you
why
do?
I don't hang out with them anymore.
Right. So see, that's the thing. You end up just getting rid of that stressor that day. You know, you choose someone else. So muting your friendship is very important, and it's something we all have to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And it will lower your overall anxiety, you guys. Okay. Now, one of those things that we talk about here is those actionable steps, and we call this the heat map. And we're going to show you that for now.
Mm-hmm.
The world is loud, but your mind needs to be a fortress. To filter out the chaos and find your footing, follow the coordinates. Here is the heat map to build resilience. Audit your social environment. Mute group chats or step away from peers who constantly spread panic or negativity. Practice deep breathing or grounding exercises like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique when anxiety flares up. Schedule a worry time, a specific limited block, for example, 15 minutes, to address anxieties, and then commit to dropping the worry for the rest of the day. The map is drawn. Back to Murph Man for the next segment.
All right. Actionable steps. This is where we get to the heart and the bread and butter of our whole thing here. All right. First thing is, we talked about this. Mute group chats and stay away from peers who are constantly spreading panic or negativity. When you have those situations that people are on you, bothering you, you need to cut them out of your life. Okay. Not permanently, but at that moment, they're not the best thing. Right?
Yeah.
All right. So we've talked about that. But now let's talk about deep breathing for a second. Grounding exercises and deep breathing. I don't know, Connor. Do you have any idea what grounding is?
No.
Grounding is when you stabilize yourself. Like when you're under a lot of stress, you go somewhere and you're like, okay, this is where I feel comfortable. This is where I'm at home. This is where I can relax and trust myself.
So it's something you like bury yourself in to keep you safe.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's okay. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. I just not make sure.
You sit there and you bury yourself. Use that word. I'm trying to think. Like, I wouldn't want to say you're overwhelming yourself, right?
You just keeping your like before you overwhelm yourself.
Yeah, before you overwhelm yourself. That's exactly. So you go and you hide yourself away, whatever you want to call it, but you go to your grounding place. And for me, my grounding place is my desk. That's over the summer. That was my baby. I didn't leave my desk for anything because I was working on this podcast, and I put a lot of work into this, and it stressed me out and everything. But I also pushed away a lot of my friends, right? Because I was working on this, and that wasn't fair to them. Now I include them in my life a lot more. You know, Connor has said to me, like, you need to make friends. I'm like, I have friends. I just choose not to hang out with them. right?
Yeah.
And I'm making more friends and more friends. And you get to meet some of them when we come on the show in a couple of weeks. We're going to be doing some different collaborations and whatnot. But it's one of those things that when you have friends that are supportive of you, you want them around you.
Yes.
At the same time, you cannot be gone from the house 24/7.
I mean, you can.
Well, yeah, but when you have things to do at home, right? Like, I'll give you an example. Because I've said this before, I'll say it again. I've been depressed on and off for years after my wife passed away and other issues and whatnot. And one of the things that I don't do is wash clothes, right? But Connor, if you had to use all your clothes, right? Maybe you'd have to wash underwear and socks one time. But how long do you think it would take you to go through all your clothes that you wear?
Like every single piece of clothing, even if I don't wear it?
Well, no, the ones you wear.
Oh. 2-3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks. I have 24 shirts I just bought over the Black Friday deals.
Yeesh.
That's just new added onto my wardrobe. So I can actually go probably a whole month and a half without having to wash all my pants and all my shirts. I can wash underwear and socks and stuff. Those are quick and easy. But I get into the habit of just not washing, and is that a bad thing? I don't think so. But it's a pain when you got to put it all away, right?
Yeah.
But I ignore stuff in my life, and you don't want to do that. You want to make sure you keep up on certain things. One thing I don't do a lot is eating at home and washing the dishes. I try to do it right afterwards. I haven't been doing that great of a job of that either, but
I mean, you still do it.
I still do it, but yeah, I don't like to leave things in the sink for a long time. But more and more, I'll make something. I'll be like, I'll wash it tomorrow, and then I go wash it tomorrow. But I should wash it that night, So sometimes you got to put off stuff to do stuff that you want to do and that you need to do, but it's not always the best that you got to do. Okay, so it's one of those things that when you think about it, you have to spend time with your friends. You have to spend time with yourself. You have to do things with different people, right? And you got to take care of yourself. All right. So we talked about grounding, that place where you feel comfortable. Don't get stuck there. Okay.
I mean, stay there as long as you like.
Well, as long as you need.
As long as you need.
Yeah. As long as I like could be a lot longer than you need because you're afraid to do things.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
I say we, Connor and I, we're pretty good about identifying the things we have to do and doing them. It happens, but we don't really have to worry about that so much because we have each other. Now, if I didn't have him to worry about, I probably wouldn't do too much. I'd be with my friends and whatever, right?
Yeah.
But we have to worry about each other and do things together. So it's one of those things that happens. But let's talk about that grounding. We talked about the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 breathing. All right. Call it box breathing. Let me explain this to you. When you're breathing, everyone thinks meditation is where you go and you relax and you fall asleep. It's not. Okay. I had a girlfriend that I used to go do Kundalini yoga with.
To do what?
Kundalini yoga.
What is that?
It was meditative yoga. And it's like meditating for 3 hours. Yeah.
So like sleeping.
No, you're not sleeping. You're aware the whole time.
Oh, I would sleep.
Well, that's the point. You're not meditating if you're sleeping. That's what I'm saying.
Well, when I meditate, I close my eyes and just humna.
No, you laugh, but there's actual phrases and sounds you make when you're meditating. So you actually have to be physically awake to do that. Okay, if you fall asleep, you're not meditating. I found that out. One of my old trainers, Dr. Patterson, was like, Murph, you got to wake up. I'm like, I'm asleep. He goes, yeah, you're supposed to meditate. You got to be awake when you're meditating. And I was like, really? I thought it was like to help you fall asleep. And it's not. And then after with this girlfriend, we went every week for God, like 3-4 months. And I'll tell you what, meditating for so long was so peaceful. It really was. You can go away in your own brain and stay positive and just be out there and be like, wow, this is pretty cool. You know what I mean? And when I was in the yoga, they did this box breathing where you breathe in, you pause, you breathe out, you pause, and you do it through your nose. Okay. So you breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's a 5. That's, I said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 is the pause. And as you're doing it, you got to focus on your breathing. And like what I would tell people is when you're doing this, one of the things I like is being on the beach and letting the water come over you. And how many times have you seen me go into the pool and I just lay there and let the water hit me?
A lot,
right? That's very relaxing to me. So when I'm meditating, and if I have to have an image in my head, I'd like to imagine on the edge of the beach with calm waves, not crazy waves,
not a whole tsunami,
but laying on the edge of the beach and laying the waves just right over you little by little. And as the wave comes up, it cools you, relaxes you, and then the water goes away and washes away the stress. And breathing, and there's so much to it. When I'm in a pool, I do the same thing. I'll just lay there and just let the water just take me away.
Yeah.
Connor, what do you do when you're in the pool or in the beach?
I was gonna say I'm the one making the water move. Behind the all calm scenes, you just see me like
really good
underwater.
Yeah, he's over there having this fun, diving, looking for Scuba Steve and everything.
Oh, Scuba Steve.
So, yeah, it's one of those things that when you're sitting there and breathing and relaxing, you're not asleep. You're aware. You're meditating. That's probably the most important thing that you have to realize is you're meditating. You're thinking, you're relaxing. There's so much to do with it. Okay. Now, one thing they also do is called imagery. Imagine a moment in your life that makes you feel good. Okay. Where you feel safe, where you have no stress. For me, before, that was me when I was 5 years old, running down the stairs from my apartment upstairs to my grandma downstairs, and she had my coffee ready for me every morning. She'd hear me coming down, the stairs, and she would be pouring the coffee. So I got down, I had my little coffee, I had my little cup, I had a little everything, right? That to me was a good memory. And when I sit here and I think about that, I smile because it's a good memory and it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
When you're having a bad time, you have to find that moment to make you smile. You have to find that moment that makes you feel less stress. You have to find that moment and just get out of your negative world. If I ask you, what's your moment? What would it be?
Ooh, I gotta think about that.
I know I'm putting you on a spot because I didn't prepare you for that question.
I just imagine myself just driving. Honestly.
Okay.
In the car, I'm just like, I can go anywhere I want. So I just think of that as my getaway.
Right.
Listen to my music. I mean, yeah.
We do that a lot.
Yeah, we do.
When I go on dates or something, I like to take people out for a drive. And I just find it so relaxing, just going for a drive and getting some coffee and driving around and talking and listening to music. That's relaxing, but that moment that it's weird. If you think of one specific moment, like a little 5-10 second clip of your life, what do you think of?
I honestly got so many moments. I just don't know what to choose. I think I just choose like one, like just like a slideshow, just boop and then put it in a disc. Yeah.
And you've heard me tell stories about your mom and everything, and I laugh about them all the time. And, it brings really good memories to me, and I share them with my friends and everything. And now that you're older, you hear me sharing different stories. I can't share some stories with you that when you were younger. But, we share different stories. And that's what's so cool about all this is when you think of that moment in time that relaxes you. Like, for example, imagine someone who loves baseball and hits that ball and they just the crack of the bat. I know you never played baseball. You don't understand that.
I know.
For you, maybe that quarterback sack from Riverside. You know, I remember when you sacked the quarterback, you were so happy because did you get the fumble too, or did you just sack the
Fumble
quarterback?
also, yeah.
Yeah, he got the fumble, and he stands up and he's like, "Hell yeah, woo!" And I was like, I got that on video. It was so cool.
Hmm.
And every now and then he's asked, "Hey, can you send me that video?" I have it. Maybe we'll play it for them
You
after
do?
the break.
Oh God, no.
No?
I was like, what, sophomore year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because freshman year, I did not do. I wasn't a starter.
No, well, I mean, yeah, but you started in yeah. Well, let's not even get to that because that's how it's into a bad memory because you don't play football anymore. But you want to be able to meditate. You want to be able to think of those moments, that imagery to make you feel good. Have your space where you feel safe. All of that's so important. Like if I ask you on campus, where do you feel safe?
The union, the study rooms, and the library.
And I don't mean safe like away from shootings and stuff. I'm talking about, just comfortable and you feel good. Yeah.
The union or the study rooms.
Now, I'm going to teach you something here too. Okay. I'm going to teach you how your brain works. I want everyone who's watching this, I want everyone to play along with me here. Okay. I want you to sit back, close your eyes, Connor. Just play along. Sit back, close your eyes, and let whatever image comes into your brain just come into your brain. But whatever you do, I don't want you to think of that white horse. Okay. Don't let the white horse in your brain. Think of anything you want to think about. Just don't think of the white horse. And most likely, guess what you're thinking of? The white horse.
Well, I mean, you would think so, yeah.
Right? When you're worrying about something and you keep saying, I don't want to worry about this.
And it just pops in your mind.
It'll pop into your mind.
Because you're thinking about it, yeah.
Okay. You're still thinking about it, even though you don't want to think about it. So one of the best things to do, I call it worry time, is tell yourself, I cannot think about this right now. There's nothing I can do about this right now. Today at 2:00, I have a free, after the show's over, after I have lunch, I can talk about it. I can think about whatever problem's going on at 2:00. Boom. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Schedule that worry time. Being at work, right? I had a really, really, really rough 3-4 weeks since Thanksgiving, a little bit before Thanksgiving. I had to take over a class, and thank God I had my coworkers that helped me get situated. And then on top of that, I had to get the new teacher onboarded. And then on top of that, I had to help other teachers with their job. And let me tell you, the first day of school for this teacher, okay? Well, not the first day, but the first day she's actually going to train with me. We have study hall where they're going to send us all the students. And I said, okay, students are going to come see us, and I'm going to show you how to work with them. And, I said, you're a teacher, you know how it all works. But during that study hall, another teacher got a call that her kid had fallen down and was injured, and she had to leave class. So what we do, because we're virtual, she literally calls my boss and says, I need to leave. Can you send Sean over to cover for me? My boss messages me, go to her classroom and cover her classroom. I said, okay, I can do that. But guess what? I got this new teacher that's going to get new students coming in for study hall. She really hasn't been trained on anything yet. She hasn't been given the resources or anything. Luckily, I'm a very organized person, and I had it all listed for her. For the most part, it was 92% ready for her. And she was able to do it, thank God, right? And that whole attitude of her just saying, I got this, go. And me being able to jump in for the other teacher, and that teacher having to deal with her situation, my boss not worrying about her, and I didn't have to worry about this teacher. Real stressful. But at that moment, could I be like, oh no, I need to take a break. I can't do this. You can't, right? I said, after study hall, we have lunch. We'll talk about it at 1:00 or whatever time, right? Because I had to schedule that worry time. So afterwards, in the Army, we call it a debriefing, after action report. There's many different phrases for it, but when you have a stressful moment in your life, you got to talk about it. You got to address it. You can't just ignore it. And that's probably one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do as an adult, is addressing my failures or what I could have done differently to succeed if I fail. I don't fail often, but I do fail. I'm not perfect. But would you agree with me on that? I don't fail often. Usually things go the way I plan them.
Yeah. There might be some hiccups and mistakes, but I don't think I've ever seen you fail or something.
Well, Okay, well, I'm not going to get into all my negative stuff right now, but for the most part, pretty good stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting because you don't realize your thought process during all this. It happens, and you don't think twice on anything. So as we're doing this, all right, and we're talking about worry time, tell yourself, I'll think about this later. But the most important thing is you have to get back to that, or you're not going to be doing well. Okay. If you don't do things for yourself, and you don't protect yourself, and you don't do those after action reports, you'll never learn from your situation. One of the things that I do, for those of you who've been following us, we have this platform called stream915.com, and we do all our behind the scenes footage there, all the other events I'm involved with around El Paso. I'm the MC of different events here in town, and I'm learning. That's something I'm learning how to do. The production, the stuff we're doing now, the more advanced stuff I'm learning there. And it's funny because I make mistakes. Like today, we're going to talk about what went wrong at the beginning of the show, right? We're going to see what happened that we didn't get the sound out. Everything was set up, but the sound wasn't working. I don't know why.
I don't know either. I'm like, let me see this. I'm like, oh, I can't hear it. You can't hear what? The sound. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Oops. I'm like, ooh.
So yeah, we're gonna figure out what went wrong there. And next time, starting the new year, we're gonna be good.
Yeah, first stream. No. Wait.
22nd.
Yes. 22nd.
Yeah.
Of what? Oh, well, yeah.
Our 22nd stream. Not our first stream. It's the first stream of the year, but our 22nd episode.
And what day would that be?
3rd of January.
That's right. Yeah. From then, we're gonna have everything set up straight.
Connor laughs sometimes because he's like, "How do you know the dates?" I just because I planned it. I know what's happening.
I planned it also.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
But you have to talk about the negative stuff. And one of the things, like when we talk about the shows that we're doing, the MC events, afterwards we have a little after action report. What went good? What went wrong? What do we need to worry about next? There's all that stuff that you do, but people don't do that for themselves. They don't address it themselves.
Well, who wants to address your own mistakes?
But that's how we get better. So I'll tell you what, we have the heat map. We're giving you those actionable steps you can do to right now that you can use to help your mental health. And the fire's not out yet. We're just getting started.
Mm-hmm.
When we return, I'll walk you through the common mistakes to watch out for in our section called Where You Get Burned, and share the protective tools like heat shields that'll give you those final reflection questions in the afterburn, the born supremacy.
I was going to say the same thing.
During the afterburn, don't touch, don't swipe away. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Oh, you meant now.
Yeah, we'll be right back. That means we're leaving.
Sorry, my bad. Oops. Okay, we'll be back.
Honestly, hold on, things are dizzy, spinning rapidly. To miss another beat is such a tragedy. Now this moment feels like all eternity. It should feel so comfortable. It's all in the secrets of the open hearts club. Tear it down, there is no need to scream and shout. When everything seems crazy, reflection now. A peace of mind should not include deception's help. It should feel so comfortable. All eyes staring to the scene, leaving dry taste in our memories. How can we all find change? It's all in the secrets of the open hearts club. Honestly,
All right, we are back. We are back. All right, so let's talk about those things where you're going to get burned. We talked about the heat map, like I said. And as we talk about the heat map, we talk about those actionable steps: the breathing, the worry time, muting your relationships. All of that's very important, right?
You mean your group chats?
Relationships.
Relationships.
Yeah, you don't mute your relationship. You can't tell them to shut up.
Shut up, leave me alone.
Like on Click when he can mute you.
Oh yeah, with the remote.
You know, but yeah, so it's one of those things that we have the heat map, but there's places you have pitfalls. We call that where you're going to get burned. And in that section, we're going to talk about what obstacles you'll have in order that will stop you from succeeding. So let's talk about those where you're going to get burned.
In high-pressure environments, it's rarely the big obstacles that take you down. It's the blind spots you ignore until it's too late. Let's talk about where you'll get burned. Isolating yourself. Anxiety thrives in isolation. Reach out to a peer, friend, or counselor when you're struggling. Comparing your internal struggle to others. Remember, social media is a highlight reel. Focus on your own growth. Ignoring physical symptoms. Poor sleep, changes in appetite, or chronic headaches are signs you need to slow down, not push harder. Danger zone identified. Back to Murphman for the warning.
That's right, you guys. This is where you're going to get burned. This is one of those things that you got to think about. Okay, so let's look at this and let's talk about them real quick. Where are you going to get burned? Isolating yourself. We've talked about this. You don't want to be by yourself. You want to be able to have friends around you. You want to be able to do things, right? You don't want to do that. And then, anxiety thrives when you're alone, because that's when your brain can just take you to all the weird places that you don't want to deal with, right? So you want to make sure you're not isolated. Also, comparing your internal struggle to others. You cannot say, this is where my friends are. I need to be at the same level they are. Everyone has their own life. Everyone has their own thing. Everyone has to deal with certain things at certain times. Is it good?
It wasn't plugged in.
Okay.
Yep. It's almost dead.
Okay, but is it?
Yes, we're good. We're
Okay.
good, dude.
All
Calm
right.
down. Keep going.
Sorry. It's just because it
I know.
dies.
I know.
Sorry,
That's
technical
fine.
difficulties.
I'm the tech man for a reason.
Yeah, he's my producer. And so when you have that anxiety, right, and you cannot focus on your own things, you worry about someone else, you can't compare yourself to them because they have different experiences, they have different coping skills, they have different ways of managing stress, right? Aside from you being better than they are, which is can be very positive, right? But you also want to help them through it.
Yeah.
I know you. You're always helping friends through things. You know, you take after me in that. But when you're looking at someone else, you cannot say their life is better. I should be there. You know, like my class reunion, right? In high school, I wasn't the best kid. I was friendly and I had friends and everything, but I never really made anything of myself growing up. I was in the army. I didn't do really, I didn't excel or anything like that. Where like I became a millionaire or boss or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of my coworkers was part owner of the Houston Texans. So it's like I had the same life he did, except his family comes from money and I didn't. Right. So it's one of those things that I can't compare my life to him. I really can't. Okay.
Mm.
You know, and the last but not least is ignoring your physical symptoms. When you're under stress, you guys, you have those physical reactions that your body will have. You know, you'll sleep. Look at the 5 things you have to do: sleep, eating, libido, behaviors.
Libido?
Yeah. Okay. Your sex drive.
Oh, okay. Why don't you say sex drive? I've never heard of libido.
That's what it's called.
I've never heard of libido.
So sleep, eat, and libido.
And
energy.
And last one.
See, you threw me off, dude. I had him in my
Sorry.
brain and you threw me off. Let me think. Sleep, eat,
libido.
Oh, smoking and drinking. Your energy, smoking and drinking. Okay. So when you ask yourself, am I under stress right now? You ask yourself, am I doing more or less of each of these? Because that could be a sign that there's a problem. More stress means you sleep more or you can sleep less, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eat more, eat less. Have more sex drive, have less sex drive. Smoke more, drink more, smoke less, drink less. You know, if your habit is, if you're always drinking, you're not drinking, then maybe you're not having the best time, right?
Yeah.
So look at those things: sleep, eat, libido, energy levels, and smoking and drinking.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at those things, right, when there's changes in them, you're under stress. So keep an eye on that. You don't want to ignore your physical symptoms. You also, if you have a lot of headaches, okay, those are signs that you're under stress. Like, I'll give you an example here. I'm not going to do it, but have you ever had a jump scare, right? Where do you feel it in your body, Connor? Because everyone's different.
Heart and stomach.
Heart and stomach. Okay, I feel it in my shoulders.
Yeah, mostly my heart.
I get tight like this.
Me too.
Okay,
I get it.
But you feel it here.
Yeah,
I feel it on my shoulders. Okay, if you check my shoulders, like come touch my shoulders. You know, I am really, really tense right now. No, up here. That's pretty tight, right? I told Connor, I don't know what I did yesterday, or I'm sorry. Yesterday was Friday. What we did Thursday. I was hurting yesterday.
Well, you said that was your lower back though, not shoulders.
Well, my back is where I feel it. The tense, when I'm tense, I feel it here. But when I did something that strained my back, and I don't know what it was.
I mean,
okay,
we didn't really do much on Christmas. I'm just trying to think about it, but I don't remember doing anything like.
Maybe it was all that food I was shoveling into my.
And then the movie.
No, you said I fell asleep in the movie. I was like this.
Yeah, you were like
maybe
a little
that's what
bit,
it was.
because there wasn't like a rest you could lay on.
Yeah,
you know?
I got spoiled with some theaters that have those luxury recliners and stuff. We went to one that doesn't have them, and it's just like, okay, I can't really relax here.
Those were weird. I'm not used to those recliners because you know how like recliners, instead of like, well,
in the movie theaters,
yeah, in the movie theaters they go back like they lift you up and then they tilt your like body backwards so you can like lay down. This one just lifted your legs up and just squatted you down. So it was like your legs were rising and your body was just dropping.
You know, it's funny because when you look at that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was Connor's first time going to, well, not the first time, but he didn't remember. When you go to a military theater, right? He got all comfortable and put his chair down and got all relaxed, right? And then what happened? You have to stand up for the national anthem.
Yeah, that's true. We were at Fort Bliss. Yeah.
And
he was like, stand up. I'm like, okay, let me just, it's going too slow. I go like, step my foot around her like, and then stood up.
Okay. Is it?
What?
I can't find the mouse.
It's stuck on the word. I can see it.
I'm aware of that, but
nope. Oh, there it is. There you go.
All right. Okay.
But I don't know. It was weird, just the way it was. And I'm not used to like standing up for the national anthem at any theaters.
That is something that
Fort Bliss does.
Not Fort Bliss. Military installations do.
Well,
and that person next to us did not stand up. I was like, dude.
I know. I saw you look at him. I'm like,
really?
Don't say anything, please.
He was a dependent kid. I can tell you that right now. He was a kid of a soldier. I'm like, oh.
He was like 20 something. Yeah.
You know, no. Was he that old?
Yes.
Maybe he was a soldier.
He was like 22.
I should have said something then. I thought he was younger.
22, 23, dude. He was like a college kid. Yeah.
But yeah, so one of those things that, you know, happens, right, is the theater, you relax and everything. I fell asleep and I was all crooked and whatnot.
Yeah, the movie was that bad.
Yeah, it really.
I'm joking.
Well, it sort of was.
It's funny. I like the movie.
I liked it too, like I said earlier, but just it's not something I want to see again. But we talked about, you know, those heat shields, those things you can do to protect yourself from getting burned. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we've talked about where you're going to get burned, and let's talk about those heat shields now, where we can talk about what you can do to prevent yourself from getting burned.
Yes. Oh, what is up? Hold on. Oh, the thing's glitching. Okay.
Waiting on the producer here.
Sorry.
When the pressure to grind becomes a wildfire, you need more than just a map. You need a barrier. It's time to activate your primary defense against the culture of burnout. Here are your heat shields. Your mental health heat shield is the self-care non-negotiable. The heat here is the constant pressure to be busy. Deploy this shield by scheduling 1 hour of true rest, no studying, no screens, every day. This simple commitment prevents your energy from dropping below the line, ensuring you are operating from a place of resilience, not depletion. The shields are up. Murphman, what's next?
All right, so your mental health heat shields are self-care is non-negotiable. The heat is constant. The pressure is constant when you're in college, and you always want to be able to do something about that. All right. So be aware of that. You got to take care of yourself. You know, right now we have some guests come into the studio, so we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about that in a little more detail. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
There's a hotel window, many floors above. What's missing down there is love. Thinking through the smoke, fills my mind. Don't worry, it's not my first time. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. They say it's all inside, heaven and hell. What happened to that angel when he fell? Give it just one try. Tell me you don't like it. Be God for a moment and don't despise it. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. Step outside and breathe. Play a little in the street. Hope it's not me they're sending. Move on from over there. Give the kids a little scare. Oh, these fences, they need mending. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town.
Before we jump back in, a quick reminder of where to find us. For all the short clips and highlights, make sure you're following us on social media. You can find all the show details on our website, purehottakes.com. And for full show replays and exclusive premium content you won't hear anywhere else, be sure to subscribe at stream915.com.
All right, you guys. We have some guests in the studio, but we're doing some setup here. It took us a little longer to get set up than I thought it would. So,
Do you hear that?
what?
That buzzing.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know if they could hear it or not.
Well, I don't know what it is. So, okay. We're going to take another quick break and we'll get this set up here. So, do the tired way.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
The web at MB Radio.
Take a minute, take a moment, take your time, let it set right. Let it drive right down in your conscious tide. Lean into better times. 'Cause in a minute, in a moment, you'll notice a shining light, one that draws you in from deep inside. Reach out and connect tonight. Something to come to you, trails that lead us to and through, elevate to new. 'Cause there's a second, there's a session, there's something that holds them tight. Let you see this world through brand new eyes. Reach out and connect tonight.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.net.
All right, we are back, you guys. We're trying to set this up. And I know you guys cannot see us right now, but give us a sec. We're trying to get everything set up here. So, all right. What the hell?
Oh, your camera's off.
Sorry, you guys. There we go. Give me a sec.
We've laid down the coals and identified the danger zones, but the map only works if you're willing to walk it. It's time to look in the mirror and decide your next move. Here are some questions for reflection. What small action can I take to reduce anxiety this week? Who is my primary support person, on campus or off? What does healthy self-care look like for me? Reflection complete. Murph Man, time for your questions. What's on your mind? Your phone is either a weapon in your arsenal or a leak in your armor. If you don't control the input will control you. To stop the digital drain, you need to recalibrate your interface. The key to mental well-being is intentional technology use. Utilize mindfulness apps, like Calm or Headspace for short, scheduled grounding exercises during study breaks. Use focus mode settings on your phone to mute all notifications except emergency contacts during critical work times. Furthermore, proactively mute or leave group chats that contribute to academic stress or emotional contagion. Murphman, time for your thoughts on what we can do to stoke the digital inferno. We've mapped the heat, identified the pitfalls, and cleared the digital noise. Now, it comes down to one core directive that changes the way you play the game. The final take from today's discussion is self-care isn't selfish. It's strategic. Prioritize your peace, and everything else will follow. The final flame has been struck. Back to the Murphman to wrap the show.
Life is like a duck. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're teaming up with our friends at Die Tired, the veteran-friendly music band spreading strength, resilience, and mental health awareness one shirt at a time.
And check this out. Their brand new shirts feature broadcast beaker right on the breast pocket. A reminder that you can weather the storm, and you're never alone.
Shirts are only $25 and proceeds support giving veterans a voice. MBR's mission to teach veterans how to podcast and videocast. Because when our vets are talking, they're not overthinking. They're not second-guessing. Together, we stop the 22 stigma. Grab your shirt today at mbradio.us and hit the shop. Or go directly to toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband. That's toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband.
Suit up, stand strong.
Remember, we're unduckable together.
You're built tougher than the storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.